Namaste, everyone. Well, I remember a week back, and I'm sure all of us go to the shops to buy the veggies and the fruits almost every week. The metros, it's 1 week, and the B town almost every second day for the ease of it. And this vendor, for his ease, so that I always go to him, he offers me one poly bag. Yes, one poly bag. And I get excited to see that because this is something called as freebie. I get happy about it that I have got one poly bag, and it's a convenience of carrying those vegetables home without any complications, no problem, as that's what we expect. Well, that one unconscious yes is the biggest environmental damage today. I'm talking about the minutest, smallest thing ever which has been discussed on the stage, the khadi jhola. What small product in the environment can do to all of us. The Sanskrit wisdom says, Mata bhumihi putroham pritviyaha. Where it says, I'm your mother, and you are my mother, and I'm your child. But this child has turned to a consumer who does not understand his duties at all. His unconscious acts and tasks are only creating issues to the Mother Earth. That single yes has got 100 years of virus on this Mother Earth, whom I literally am giving in honor of saying Mother Earth. Mahatma Gandhi once said, Earth has resources to fulfill everybody's need, but not the greed. But the greed of my convenience, the greed of the vendor's convenience, that I go to him, I have created 100 years jail for my Mother Earth. What can be done? First question to ponder. This poly bag, where is it going? The just 40 micron poly bag, where is it going in environment? It is going through our streams of water, the air, the soil, and the food system. That little thing is creating carcinogenic elements to all of us. Is the pain which we are giving to Mother Earth is returning back to us. Today, we all need to know this is no more in environmental campaigning, but this is to do with behavioral intervention. Intervention of mine, behavioral intervention of you and every citizen on earth. We need to know where this earth is coming from. Where is this earth coming from? Again, I ask the question, where is this earth coming from? I remember it was given as an inheritance by the ancestors, yes, but at the same time, I have borrowed it from your sons and daughters. I have borrowed it from my son and daughter. And again, to give you an honest confession, which just happened 2 days back, I went to the same vendor again, and I took the veggies, and this time I thought I'm going to be a dutiful citizen. I'm aware I'm responsible, and I would be carrying my own jhola, my own khadi bag in my pocket. And guess what? I go and stand there, I pick all the groceries, and when the vendor looks at me and says, Madam, would you need this poly bag? And I says, no, I have mine. And I put my hands in my pocket, and I see there's no jhola. And it felt like, it really hit me like a climate change. Believe me, friends. I realized the powerful truth of psychology, that awareness does not change anything in the environment. It is then when I carried not only Jhola, but I carried a responsibility of my shoulder. I remember, as per my knowledge goes, this poly bag was the solution to the problem of paper bags in order to save the deforestation, where the Swedish engineer invented this reusable innovation that is a poly bag, so that we don't have to waste paper bag. Let me make you aware again. But he could change the material then, but he could not change the material of Demon's mind. And there was a new habit which was created of the convenience, which we all have. You have, I have, being the most educated and the literate people. We do not change material, as I said, but then we changed our habit of convenience. And since then, the Mother Earth is undergoing this menace every day. There are 500 billion bags which are being taken out on this earth every day. A solution that time became a bigger problem. Can you believe it? Can you beat the Homo sapiens here? No. Single-use plastic, again, let me tell you that, is not the psychological problem. It is, again, the default behavior. The default behavior you carry and the default behavior we carry instead of carrying that hardly some grams of Jhola. The behavioral science says the default behavior is through three things. My easy options like no friction, no resistance, no thought at all as what I'm doing. This awareness can never ride a habit. It's basically the habit. And what I and you are doing today becomes an unconscious learning for our own children, our future. The regime, the eco-friendly regime which we are trying to create for those sad fellows is something what we are trying to bring them with our own unconscious task, which we do every day without knowing. There is a habit loop, let me tell you, my friends. This habit loop is something like, I have a waste today, I have no bin, and now I feel the discomfort. I need immediate, quick relief. What do? Reinforce the behavior of that convenience again. Later, this becomes an automatic behavior. Litter was playing hide and seek with me when I was actually traveling on the beautiful highway which is newly done the last day from Dehradun to Ludhiana. It is all done by the most educated people, I believe, my friends. Jhola, the mere Jhola, could become the biggest behavioral tool for all of us. If you carry a Jhola, just not for a reason, just as an extension of you. When you go and shop, it's like you're not asking for any poly bag. When you have a waste, you have a right to store it. And when you see a litter around, you can always pick it up. That one small act can bring us multifold behavior change. And yes, this Jhola has that power. Coming to a little bit on data, as per what I have researched, 380 million ton bag, that is the biggest plastic polluter. The fun and pun here is the average life of one poly bag happens to be more than 100 years. And the utility lifespan is only 12 minutes. Now, we all are quite understanding to understand 12 minutes on one side and 100 years punishment on the other. And where does it go again? It is going in our soil, in a food chain. It is going to our lungs. It is going to our blood plasma, bringing cancer to all of us. And then we are the ones who are doing the research to bring in another vaccination, the cancer vaccination. Wow. So it said, Yatha bijam tatha phalam. Sow the plastic. What would we reap? We would reap only plastic. Plastic in the name of climate change. Plastics in the names of disasters. Nothing else. See, it's about efficiency versus waste. Where we have one cotton khadi jhola, a few grams, which you can just carry as a habit, we can use it for 4 or 5 years. And the decomposition time is just 6 months. Whereas one poly bag, 40 micron, looks like the smallest and the tiniest things on this universe. But that is just the utility for 12 minutes max. But to the information, 100 years decomposition and a punishment. So we all can understand again what is the difference between inefficiency and waste here. J stands today, for me, justice for planet. It does not have code. It's all of us to bring the justice to our Mother Earth. The habit to harmony, we have to bring in the habits to bring that harmony to our Mother Earth. Obligation of Earth on us, we have to repay back. We have to repay back. Local and sustainable, where we have artisans, we have local economies, just with this small jhola. Awareness of big impact, where we know that this would definitely leave a big impact if we change our behaviors. The default behavior, the automaticity. One family changes, the other changes, and for sure, the community starts realizing. And that's how my and your nation changes. So, can we actually apply it through campaignings and through slogans? We tried enough. No more, my friends. It can only be done when we design our habit. If we can have creative designing, if we can have design thinking, why can't we have habit design? Just towards our Mother Nature, just bringing some conscious few seconds efforts, changing my habit. Jhola could be kept near your door. It could be kept outside your door. It could be kept in your vehicle. One in your office and one definitely in your pocket, like you carry your mobile. We can carry this jhola as well. Well, the small changes can always leave a big impact. Not necessarily that the massive changes are required for massive requirements. Boon boon se sagar banta hai. Maybe I'm being insignificant alone, but I can carry this activism with me as a habit. And looking at me, there can be a default behavior with the community. The community changes, the default system changes in order to change the entire society, and that is what I'm here for. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Whatever is our pattern of thinking, we become that. One pattern of just saying, us din I would have said no, would have changed a lot for me and for the Mother Earth. Maybe the next time when the same vendor looks at you and asks for the poly bag, you need to develop that pattern where you say, no, I will not. Reminding you lot of behaviors which are required for every responsible citizen. Nevertheless, not to forget, we are carrying responsibilities on our shoulders. So today, let's not be consumers, let's be custodians. Today, Earth does not need a hero. He needs a responsible citizen. Sustainability is not a trend, it's a duty of each one of us. Just don't carry a jhola, carry a revolution. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchid dukhmamitat. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam, this entire earth is my family. And I believe that harmony, health, and well-being prevails with this minutest change in habit that is called as Khadi Jhola. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thanks.